Hello and welcome to my June budget with me. We have some changes hitting us this month, but let's go through everything. So first of all, my husband and I are in our 30s. We are a family of 3 because we have a toddler daughter. She's just over a year and a half old, and since she's been born, it's been really important to us to get our debts paid off and save for retirement so that we can hopefully not have to work so much so we can spend more time with her. So if you're interested in seeing our family's journey as we work towards paying off debt, then I would love to have you subscribe. Let's just jump right into our June budget. So first of all, we do a zero-based budget, and if you don't know what that is, it just means that at the end of the month, all of our money is accounted for so that our budget equals 0, whether that's putting extra towards savings at the end of the month or into our sinking funds like we do, so that we can do a little bit more variable spending. So June is expected to be a pretty typical month for us income-wise. I budget off of my gross income, which is before taxes, but I budget off of my husband's net income, which is just what hits our joint account. So I am expecting to bring in $10,460.92. I am a software engineer with a master's degree, so I make a pretty good salary, but I haven't always been making this much money. For my husband, for what's going to hit our joint account, we're expecting $5,281.08. And then for interest this month from our high yield savings account, I'm going to just estimate $23.92, and that's really just so that in the end everything works out to 0. We're not expecting any rewards, refunds, or other income this month, but if any of that happens, that would be nice. Sometimes we get credit card rewards, but we don't typically get very many other kinds of income. Next, we have savings. We like to pay ourselves first and contribute to savings whenever we have those goals. Basically, we've hit most of our savings goals, but we still have some automatic contributions that come out. First, my 403B, which is 4% of my pay, which comes to be $418.44 with 2 paychecks. That's what I'm expecting. And then our daughter's 529. We budget $415, and that's so that we can hit our goal of $5,000 this year. We have that goal in order to get a tax break from our state by contributing to that. And it's also just nice to be able to fund her education. Our next savings goal is Acorns, my after-tax brokerage account. I just plan on $15. We have a monthly contribution of $5, and then roundups usually occur once or twice in the month, so it works out to be about $15. I'm not really prioritizing my after-tax brokerage account right now, so that's all that it is. All of our other savings goals, I said we hit those. That was maxing out last year's Roth, maxing out this year's Roth, maxing out last year's HSA, and maxing out this year's HSA. So now let's move on to our expenses. So my taxes come out of my paycheck, obviously. I think it's about 27 or 28% I pay in taxes, and this is like Social Security, Medicare, all of that. So I'm expecting $2,824.45 over my 2 paychecks. I kind of estimate this to be a little bit high so that when the taxes come out, I have a tiny bit more wiggle room. Usually it's only about like $20, but it's better than budgeting under for taxes and then having more taxes taken out. Next, I have life insurance, which also comes out of my paychecks. It'll come out twice. I'm expecting $6.94. I think this gives me 3 times my salary in life insurance, and that's enough for me. Next is car insurance. We pay this every month. We don't get any kind of discount by paying it like in 6-month increments, so I just pay it every month, and we can pay it right from our credit card, which gives us cash back also. So that's $220. Next, we have our utility bill. We're on a budget billing plan, so we pay the same amount every single month all year long, no matter how much or how little electricity we use. We've been using a little bit less because the weather's been nice, but it's still going to be $260. And in June, we might be turning the air conditioning on, so we may be using a little bit closer to that. Also, we opened the pool last month, and so it costs electricity to run the pump for the pool. Typically, that's our largest electrical usage, is running the pool pump. For internet, we pay $34.99 for just basic internet, no TV, nothing else. And then daycare. This is where our budget is changing. Our daughter will be going to a new daycare. Previously, we were paying $300 a week on Mondays. Her new daycare is a monthly charge, and they also have like a summer camp fee for the summer time, and then like a school fee for the school year time. So it's $14.63 for her monthly tuition, and then a $101 fee. So I don't know if we're going to actually end up paying that beforehand, before June, before she starts, or if that'll get paid in June. I'm hoping in June because we've already basically hit our May budget for daycare, but we'll see how that works out. And then for Acorns, which is my after-tax brokerage and my only subscription, we pay $1 a month. So now moving on to our debts, we have our mortgage, and this is $2,630. For our truck, we've paid that off, so we're not budgeting anything for that. So we no longer have a truck payment. That should save us about $600 a month, which is really nice. But we still have my retirement account loan, and that is $236.22 with every paycheck, and I'm getting paid twice. So that will be a total of $472.44. And then our next debt is my husband's student loans, and that's $382. As you can see, we are not planning to pay any extra towards debt this month, which is a little different for us. We'll see how things end up working out, but right now that is kind of the plan. So now let's move into our sinking funds, which is where we make all of our variable purchases from. For home, we budget $900, and we haven't really had to spend very much from this category, which is nice, but with the summer coming up, we have pool maintenance stuff that we need to get done, and we may do some more like housework, yard work stuff, so we'll see. For groceries, I am really upping this budget to $800, and that's because this year we want to do the CSA, which is the crop share, like community supported agriculture, where we pay at the beginning of the season and then get vegetables every single week. So I've done this crop share before, and I really like it, but we took a break from it, I think last year, but I want to go back and do it this year. Last year I told my husband, the amount of money that we spend on the CSA, you can invest that into the garden, and we won't do the CSA, and we'll just do our garden this year. And that didn't work out at all. I guess we didn't invest all of that money into the garden. We should have, in order to keep the deer and stuff out. We barely got anything from our garden last year because as soon as things were almost ripe, the deer would come along and eat everything. So it was very disappointing. We had very few fresh vegetables last year. I think only like the lettuce survived and maybe like 1 or 2 zucchini. So it was very sad, and I really want fresh vegetables all summer long. And I think the CSA is really the most cost-effective way of doing it. We get organic vegetables. We get like 3 grocery bags full of vegetables, and it's like $40 a week. So I think it's a good deal. Plus we're supporting our community. So I want to do the CSA this summer, and we have to pay for it either at the end of May or the beginning of June, because it starts in June. So I'm increasing our sinking fund budget for that. We may have already spent it and taken our sinking fund negative in order to pay for it, but this will replenish it if that's what has happened. Our next category is car and gas. I'm just budgeting $150 again. This is mostly just for my gas. We had to do some car maintenance on my husband's car last month, and so we kind of depleted it a little bit, but I barely spent anything in gas, and so we're just kind of building this fund back up. Next is health. This fund is negative right now. I'm planning on just contributing $50 to it though, because I'm not really concerned that it's negative, because we have the other funds to kind of balance it out. Plus we have the HSA. And so like if we ever wanted to get any of our health expenses reimbursed, we can pull it from the HSA instead of needing to fund it from our actual budget. Next we have pets. I have 2 rabbits. I'm just going to budget $50 for them. They just probably will need hay very soon, maybe some food this month. Next, baby. This is our daughter. I'm only budgeting $20 for her, but I'm thinking soon we'll have to increase that just for extra things that she needs for school, for her new daycare, because they have some like requirements for her to have like an emergency kit and stuff. So those are things that we may need to purchase for her. Just to have for them to have on hand. Next is phone. We pay for this annually, so we save for it monthly. I just contribute $55. That should probably be paid, I think, in August, so we're coming up on paying that annual subscription. Our next category is gifts and donations. I'm budgeting only $50. We have quite a bit in this fund. And our niece's birthdays are coming up over the summer, so we'll be going to their parties. We'll probably be buying them gifts, so we'll be using that fund for that. Next, clothing and personal. I just contribute $5. This is really any kind of personal spending that I may want to do. My husband does all of his own personal spending from his own account, where part of his paycheck goes, and I don't budget or account for any of that spending. But for me, I'm not a big spender, so I only budget $5 for me. And then for travel and entertainment, I also have only been budgeting $5. We don't really travel much, and we don't really have plans to. We were going to maybe try to go camping again this summer, but all of the cabins were already booked every single weekend of the summer, so we kind of waited a bit too long to be able to do that. But that's okay. We may go to a fair or something. We're pretty busy with work and everything. We don't really get to take hardly any vacations, just because we have to use most of our paid time off to take care of our daughter when she's sick and stay home with her. So next we have restaurants. We budget just $20, and that's kind of like if anything comes up where we have to like celebrate something at a restaurant and we need that fund there, then that's what we use it for. We don't really plan on going out to eat like very often, only for special occasions. We do most of our cooking at home. And then next we have miscellaneous. That's just $0 I'm budgeting. Typically this is where we just throw our spare change. We hardly ever have any kind of miscellaneous spending, and then I'll typically roll over any excess at the end of like the year into another sinking fund. And then our next category is the DCFSA, and for that comes out of my paycheck. I will be contributing $5,000 over the course of the year, so that should be $416.66 over my 2 paychecks this month to get me towards that $5,000. We end up using that for daycare expenses. They get reimbursed, and so as the DCFSA gets depleted, then the daycare expenses basically go away. But we do pay like 4 times as much in daycare as we do get in this DCFSA. And this is actually my money. It's just tax-free. Next, we have our emergency fund. We're not planning on contributing anything to that this month. And then our new roof, that was something that we were working on at the beginning of the year, and then fully paid off. Actually, we had built that up last year, and then we paid off the roof this year. So we weren't working on that. We were already done. And then I'm planning on contributing $4,000 just towards extra savings. And really this is, we may redo the bathroom, or we may just save this up and then use it as a lump sum towards paying back my retirement account loan. I'm not really sure yet. We really would like to redo the bathroom. It's been like top priority for remodeling since we bought the house. This is the upstairs hallway bathroom that our daughter will be using. It's really our main bathroom right now because like the master bathroom is broken, the shower at least, and yeah, that's like the only shower that works. But we would like to get that redone. It's pretty old and gross. But for now, we're just putting all the money in savings. We may use it for remodeling. We may use it as a lump sum to repay my retirement account. But for now, this is what we're planning on doing. I'm not really sure what's the best option here, but we are gaining some interest in our high yield savings account. And so at least there's that. But that's everything for my June budget. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments how your June budget is planning out. Are you taking any fun trips this summer? I would love to hear about it. If you're interested in seeing more of my family's journey as we work towards paying off debt and saving and investing for our future, then please hit subscribe because I would love to have you follow along. Thank you for being here.